Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. We got some big numbers, we got some big profits. Not for us, no. It's that certain sector, because there's two big sectors of economy that are making a kill at this moment, because they were so lucky and I don't know, they've never made such profits. They didn't know anything about anything. It just happened to them. So I'm talking about obviously the energy companies in this article that I'm going to discuss, not about the arms industry. That's another one that A-OK. So this article comes from Reuters, July 29th, 2022. And I'm reading the title, headline. U.S. majors EXXON Chevron post blowout earnings ramp up buybacks. So the two largest U.S. oil companies, ExxonMobil Corporation and Chevron Corporation, posted record revenue on Friday, bolstering by surging crude oil and natural gas prices and following similar results for European majors a day earlier. I made a video on beautiful Shell Corporation and Total from France. The US pair, along with UK-based Shell and France's Total and Energies, combined to earn nearly $51 billion in the most recent quarter, almost double what the group brought in for a year ago period. These four companies have ramped up share buybacks in recent months, capitalizing on high margins delivered from selling oil and gas. Yes, sanctions work for some, sanctions don't work for others. Sanctions don't work for others, but work for some. Exxon outpaced its rivals with second quarter net income of $17.9 billion. Net income, several billion dollars ahead of its previous record reached in 2012, which was aided by asset sales in Japan. The fifth major BP PLC reports next week. The companies posted strong results in their production units, helped by the surge in benchmark Brent crude oil futures, which averaged around $114 a barrel in the quarter. High crude oil prices can cut into margins from integrated oil majors. That's great in a sense. However, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine and numerous shutdowns of refineries worldwide in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic, refining margins exploded in the second quarter, outpacing the gains in crude, adding to earnings. And wait, the strong second quarter results reflect a tight global market environment. Yeah, you bet. Earlier this month, Britain passed a 25% windfall tax on oil and gas producers in the North Sea. US lawmakers have discussed a similar idea, though it faces long odds in Congress. Of course it does. Windfall tax does not provide incentive for increased production, which is really what the world needs today, said Exxon Chief Financial Officer Catherine Michels in an interview with Reuters. Yeah, well, they care about that. So no increased production, they're going to keep their margin, but we're not going to have more oil or cheaper. So the companies say that are merely meeting consumer demand at that price, and that price are a function of global supply issues and lack of investment. What investment in what? Exxon earlier this year more than doubled its projected buyback programs to $30 billion through 2022 and 2023. Shell said it would buy back $6 billion in shares in the current quarter, while Chevron boasted its annual buyback plans to a range of $10 billion to $15 billion, up from $5 billion to $10 billion. Woohoo, these guys are doing great. Exxon shares were up. Do you own any? I don't. 3.2% to $95.60 in morning trading. Chevron shares rose 6.5% to $160.06. Wow, that's a frenzy out there, and we are not invited. We are not part of it. We are part of it because we pay for it. So I'm wondering what kind of bonuses will they have, you know, after all this. That's how free market works, I guess. What do you think? Free market has no limitations, right? There's no, you try to put as little, you know, stops here and there and regulations. The more regulations, the more you intervene in the natural course of business, of, you know, demand and supply and demand. So these guys are making a profit. The Pentagon is going to make a big profit. And remember, they want to exchange that, the, how they call him, the something of death, the merchant of death, that Russian mustache guy that sold some weapons, and they want to trade that with a big basketball woman who tried to bring cannabis into Russia illegally, obviously. And I was thinking, this guy is the merchant of death. What about those guys over there at that it has 5, you know, which has a, you know, sides, that kind of figure. What about those guys? The Pentagon. They overshadow everybody else. But no, that's the merchant of death. All right. So those are making big profits because they have big orders now, because the HIMARS and all these things are the perfect tools and weapons, which could be good, but the Europeans sell or get rid of their Russian ones because they're garbage, obviously, and they buy this one, the best ones that shown to work perfectly, strategically pinpointed and surgically. That's how they work, the HIMARS. Whereas the Russian ones have an accuracy of 25%, so 75 are just in the fields and all that. Such a, you know, but whatever, man, that's their bunny. That's their money. A bunny. Bunny means money in Romanian. So I made a bunny money combination between English. Money in English, bunny in Romanian. Close, you see? Money, bunny, bunny. So these guys are making what? 51 billion. 51 billion. That's good. If they tax them a lot, as I said, the incentive decreases to supply more. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Now we know how is that? Follow the money, and you know. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.